This is the story.
This is Russia, the eyewitness report of a former bomber pilot of the Russian Air Force. A Russian who escaped through the Iron Curtain and agreed to tell his story to America and to the world. In today's story, Vasily Kotov, now in New York, recalls for us his experience with the Soviet educational system. He remembers it as a question of true liberty.
My good friend Martin Palmer had invited me, Vasily Kotov, to a party at his apartment. During the party, I told stories of Russia. They knew I spoke the truth because they knew that I escaped from Russia and was not driven from it. They knew I spoke the truth because they knew I had endangered my life by seeking freedom in this country. But at the party was one young lady who had some ideas of her own about Russia, though she had never been there.
Oh, but Vasily, it couldn't be as bad as that. Why, I remember reading in the Times before the war of an interview with Stalin. Well, I don't remember all of it, but, well, let me see. Oh, yes, it went something like this. True liberty can exist only where exploitation has been abolished, where there is no oppression of some by others, where a man is not haunted by the fear of being tomorrow deprived of work, of home, and of bread. Only in such a society is true liberty possible. Well, why are you laughing?
Oh, believe me, my dear Miss Thompson, I am not laughing. I'm only thinking that anything which appears on a printed page is quite different from the facts of flesh and blood. True liberty, where there is no oppression of some by others, where a man is not haunted by fear. You think that because there are intelligent Russians, this real liberty is a fact, or is taught in schools?
Well,
Vasily,
Yes, Martin.
tell Betty the story you told me and Professor Robinson the other day.
You would like to hear?
Yeah.
Go ahead. So would I.
And I.
It was before the war. I was, as you know, an electrical engineer with an airplane factory near Moscow. One day I received an order to take over a class in electrical engineering at the university. I was driven to the university, and as we entered the grounds, I saw a sight that interested me. An old man was standing by a bonfire, and around him were hundreds of books which he was tearing up and burning. I told the driver to let me out there. Then I walked over to the bonfire and asked the old man what he was doing, burning up perfectly good books.
I am told to burn books. I burn them.
But what is going on?
The library is being rearranged.
But some of these books are beautiful.
Beautiful.
Gilt-edged pages, embroidered bindings.
They do not say the correct things.
Oh, here's one by Dostoevsky.
Let me see. You would like to see what happens to Dostoevsky?
What do you mean?
This? So much for him. Now, who is next?
But why are you doing this?
You are an instructor here?
A temporary instructor. I've just arrived.
Oh.
Look, here is a book on engineering. Engineering throughout the world.
Put the book down.
But this is on engineering.
I've been told to burn all these books. Put it down.
Someone must have made a mistake. This book is no ideological essay. It is on engineering. I will be lecturing here on engineering.
Oh?
May I have this?
No. But I am very busy here. I must turn my back and stoop over to pick up these other books. And do not dare to touch any of them.
I understand.
So you will be lecturing on electrical engineering?
Yes.
Gorchakov's class?
Who?
Gorchakov. He preceded you.
Oh. Where did he go?
I do not recall.
But you knew him.
Yes.
Where did he go?
I do not recall.
But what happened to him?
You, you wish to know what happened to Gorchakov?
I did not bother the old man longer, but I wondered that my government would order books by such great writers to be burned. In those days, I accepted any order given to us, accepted it without one doubting thought. But it wasn't long before the doubts, though very small at that time, began to creep into my conscience. I filled out the long questionnaire demanded of every instructor and started my lectures. As I was approaching the classroom on the fourth day, a member of the NKVD, now known as the MVD, approached me in the hallway.
Comrade Kotov,
Da.
I am the Communist Committee Secretary here. You will come with me.
But I have a lecture to give.
The lecture will wait.
Very well.
Well, how do you like teaching?
Well, I am only lecturing. I would not refer to myself as a teacher.
In your position at the factory, you are highly considered. I presume you wish to be held in the same esteem while you are here?
Yes.
Then why do you think so highly of America?
Pardon me?
In your lecture of 2 days ago, you mentioned the progress the Americans are making in electrical engineering.
Yes,
You did not mention the Russian progress.
but there was not the lecture.
How many do you intend giving on the contributions to this field in other countries?
10.
You will mention that at least equal advances are being made in the Soviet Union.
Of course. I shall mention that whenever possible.
You will mention it repeatedly, and you will cite examples.
But if there are no examples to cite...
There will be examples to cite, or you will not cover such a phase in your lecture. Do you understand?
Yes.
For any advance in science, no matter what the field, you will say that at least equal advances are being made in the Soviet Union.
Yes.
And what else will you add to that?
What do you mean?
Are you stupid? What else will you add to that statement?
You realize I am new at this teaching.
New or not, you will say that at least equal advances are being made in the Soviet Union, thanks to the impetus provided by the planning programs of the Communist Party.
If you wish it.
Good.
May I go now?
There is one more matter, and a much more serious one. I shall quote you from your lecture of yesterday. These are your words. We have such wiring at the factory where I am now working. It is the factory where the newest memorial to Lenin and Stalin has been erected.
Yes?
Stalin is alive. Why would we build a memorial to him? Memorials are for the dead.
Oh, I should have said monument.
By using the word memorial, you infer that you wished Stalin dead.
But I am an engineer, and teaching is strange to me. I had no intention of speaking against the state or Comrade Stalin.
Very well. Go on to your classroom. Kotov,
Yes?
do you know who your predecessor was?
No.
His name was Vladimir Gorchakov. He said many things in his class, such as you have said. And he omitted many things in his class, such as you have omitted. His name, when it is used, which is seldom, is used in the past tense. Comrade Kotov, beware.
From that day onward, there was a stenographer attending each of my lectures. I could not say what I wished, but I struggled through the lectures for a week. Then once more I was called to the office of the Communist Committee Secretary.
Comrade Kotov, enter. Remain standing. This will not take long. This book was found in your room. It is forbidden reading. It was ordered to be burned. Where did you get it? I asked, where did you get it?
I rescued it from the fire the first day I arrived here.
The old man gave it to you.
No, he did not see me take it.
You admit the old man had it.
Yes, but
Then he failed in his responsibility.
But the book is on engineering. It has nothing to do with...
Yukarva!
Comrade?
The old man is guilty. Have him removed.
Yes, comrade.
Comrade Kotov, you are most fortunate. You do not understand certain things. Consequently, you will return immediately to your factory and resume your work. And may I add again that you are fortunate in that you are a specialist in a field where specialists are rare.
But, what of the old man?
Who?
The old man you are having removed.
Who?
The old man who was at the bonfire.
What old man? What bonfire?
Where I picked up that book.
What book?
The book on your desk!
Comrade Kotov, your memory is playing tricks. There was no old man. There was no bonfire. There is no book on my desk.
But, comrade,
Comrade Kotov, when the Communist Party states that a certain book has never been published, then that book ceases to exist. You may leave now.
So, Miss Thompson, that is how true liberty is interpreted in the Soviet Union. I do not know what happened to the old man, but as he was an old man, and the philosophy of the Communist Party cannot stand for anyone to be a burden on the state, he was undoubtedly done away with. Now, my dear friend, Miss Thompson, would you do me a favor, now that I have told you my story?
What is it?
Would you repeat Stalin's statement about liberty, so all can hear?
True liberty can exist only where exploitation has been abolished, where there is no oppression of some by others, where a man is not haunted by the fear of being tomorrow deprived of work, of home, and of bread. Only in such a society is true liberty possible.
Do you understand now why I told that story?
Yes. Mr. Kotov, have I been an awful fool?
No. You just did not know.
You have heard Stalin's statement. True liberty can exist only where exploitation has been abolished. And you have heard Vasily Kotov's example of exploitation within the Soviet Union. You have heard the thought, it can exist where there is no oppression. And you have heard Vasily Kotov's example of oppression behind the Iron Curtain. You have heard that true liberty is possible only where a man is not haunted by fear. And you have heard Vasily Kotov's story of a man haunted by fear under a communist regime.
A Question of True Liberty was written for This Is the Story by Stephen R. Callahan and based on characters created in the book Land of Milk and Honey by W.L. White. This is the United States Armed Forces Radio Service, the voice of information and education.